welcome back to our channel. Today I'm going to be doing a really requested video, which was my Q&A. So in case you missed it, I popped a link on my Snapchat and Instagram to an anonymous survey question and answer thing to ask everyone any questions they'd like me to answer. And I was actually panicking because I was like, I don't know if I'm going to get any questions, but I got so much. I got like literally 5 pages of questions. Thank you if you submitted a question. And the links to our Instagrams are in the description box if you want to take part next time. Decided to go for a different background this week because, well, I don't really know why. I just felt like it would be a nice change to film down here, so that's what I decided to do. This is like our, well, I don't really know what this is. It's just like our back room. It's like our second living room, I suppose. So let's just get straight into it. Yeah, hopefully I managed to answer all the questions. A lot of them were kind of similar, so I've tried to kind of, you know, make them into one if necessary. So let's get started. So the first question that I'm going to answer is, what is the first thing you'll do after lockdown? Well, in Scotland, our lockdown is being relaxed slightly on Thursday, which is pretty fun. And I don't know, I'll probably see Amy, who's my best friend, and then also see my girls, and probably Lauren, and maybe Darren. So I'll be busy, but I'm really excited to see my friends again, obviously from a distance. It's really sad because I can't see like my Stirling girls, obviously just because it's so far away, so the day I get to see them again will be so fun as well, but yeah. So someone has asked, what is your favourite series right now? Mainly we're talking about doing a separate video on this. Let us know if you want to see that, but I would say right now I've been watching so many series in lockdown and I never watch television normally. Like I always watch EastEnders and Hollyoaks, but normally I would just, like, that's all. My favourite television programme ever is Cold Feet, and that will never be beaten, but it's went off air again now. It's gonna have like another 10-year break, which is so sad. I'm like, come on. So my favourite series at the moment, I've just finished Dead to Me. It's really good. I just finished Big Little Lies as well, also really good. Normal People, like everyone, I'm absolutely raving about that. Noughts and Crosses, really good, so couldn't pick too many, but yeah. Someone has asked, would you ever live outside of Scotland? The answer is no. I'm not that fussed about travelling. I wouldn't really like to be out of the country for probably more than 3 weeks at a time. It's just not my kind of thing, really. So, yeah. Someone said, what are your favourite makeup products? So, as I think I've said before, but I wear Revolution. I'm pretty sure everything on my face right now is Revolution, yeah. But since I did my testing Glaze Cosmetic products, I absolutely love their highlighter. I've not got it on today, I've got a Revolution one on, but I absolutely love their highlighters and lipsticks, so I would mention them as well. So someone's asked, what is your most embarrassing drunken story? To pick just one. There's honestly been so many. Okay, so I think if you were to ask my friends, they would probably say the most embarrassing one was this time I was out in dusk. I was very, very drunk, like I was too drunk at Prees to have went out, like I shouldn't have went out. Anyway, obviously I did. Cut a long story short, literally ended with my lipstick all over my face, had my hair up, like, and like, you know that way where you pull your hair like that, like in a bun? Yeah, I had that, and literally the whole bottom half of my face, like from here down, was red. I had used my lipstick to write Logan and Lee, and yeah, I've just honestly never been so drunk in my life, and let me tell you, I woke up with the extreme fear. One time I was at Kilted on a work night out, and I was far too drunk again at Praise to have gone out because I didn't have any mixer, so I had flavoured gin and cherry Sewers, and I don't know why, but I just thought, right, I'll just mix both of them and that can be like the drink. Suddenly I had decided to have a pint of dark fruits. I don't know why when I'd been on spirits all night, but I thought, you know, yep, we'll have a pint. And as soon as that hit my stomach, I thought, oh god, like, no, I can't do this. So I tried to, like, so I got up saying I was going to the toilet, made it as far as like a plant pot, like, which was just like a bit further down from where we were sitting, and managed to crouch behind that plant pot, and I was projectile vomiting everywhere. And I vlogged the whole thing for my private story. Then when I was eventually found, because obviously I told people I was going to the toilet, so they just didn't think I was there, Ellen eventually came back and got me, phoned me a taxi and took me to the toilet, and she kept on trying to give me water and I just wouldn't accept it, and then eventually took it, drank it, and she was like, thank you, and I spat it back in her face. I'm such a good friend. And really risky business because I was literally living with Ellen at this point, so she could have just chucked me out at any point like it was her family home. So thank you, Ellen. So someone, I wonder who, has asked, who is your favourite out of Eve, Emma and Caitlin? And this is Eve, Emma and Caitlin. They're my friends from school and we've literally been friends for so long now and I love them all to bits, and that is the reason why I will not be picking a favourite, because like they're all my best friends and I love and miss them so much, so I can't pick. Sorry. Someone said, would you go interrailing, where and with who? Obviously I kind of said before that travelling isn't really my thing at all. Interrailing I think would be fun. I don't really know enough about it to say where, and I think I would probably go with any of my friends, but as I say, I don't know if it's something I would really be that into because I don't really understand the concept of it. Maybe somebody can explain it better. But yeah. Me and Lee would totally go and vlog it though. So someone's asked, who is your fashion inspo / fave influencers? It's probably been obvious in videos before, but I'm not particularly fashionable. In terms of fashion, when it comes to like putting outfits together, I will always FaceTime Lauren because she's just really good at that kind of thing. Obviously as you saw from my PLT haul. Also Sophie and Meg, two of my friends, they're both fashion students, so definitely them as well. In terms of favourite influencers, the kind of only influencers I think I follow is like, followed Chloe Fraser and Lois White since I was like 14 maybe, before they were like kind of influencers. They were just kind of known on Instagram. And now seeing them with like their brand deals and their own stuff, it is really nice, so they're really lovely. I'll put links to their profiles in the description. Someone has asked, what are the 3 things you think of most every day? I feel like it's probably different just now, but well, right now me and Amy are doing Chloe Ting's 2-week shred, so I definitely think about that. Also just like missing my friends and like kind of about coronavirus and lockdown and whatever, and obviously my best friend that passed away in January 2019, Natalie. I'd obviously think about her every day, so yeah, just kind of like what we'd be doing and how she would be, and yeah. So someone's asked, who would you want to play you in a movie about your life? That's a difficult one. I don't imagine it would be a very big movie, but I don't know, they would obviously have to be Scottish, and I just feel like I can't, like right now on the spot, and I can't think. Yeah, I literally can't think of it. So someone's asked, who is the funniest person you know? Well, it's very difficult. I have a lot of very funny friends, but I think if I was put on the spot, I would probably say Sophie, closely followed by Lauren and also James. So someone says, if you could time travel, what would you do? Actually, I had a dream about this the other night. I think I would go back and like let loved ones know how much I did love them before they passed away or whatever. Because I assume in this context that you can't change what's happened, but if you could, I would obviously reverse things like that, and other awful things have happened, so difficult question though. So a couple of times I got asked, what superpower would you like to have? Quite a random question, but I got asked it loads and loads of times, so I would probably say the ability to read minds. I don't know why I raised my eyebrows as I said that. I would just love to know what everyone's thinking all the time. Like, all my friends know I'm literally so nosy, so I would literally like just be like, what? All the time. What's your go-to karaoke song? Probably Oops, I Did It Again by Britney Spears, because I feel like you can kind of top that one, like I can't sing. Or 9 to 5 by Dolly Parton. I remember on my 6-year holiday I used to sing karaoke every night, like at this bar that we went to, like before we went out, and the amount of songs I murdered up on that stage is just absolutely horrendous. Flying Without Wings by Westlife being the main one. Someone's asked, what motivates you to work hard? Mostly like whatever the end goal is of what I'm doing. At uni it's because I want to get a degree and get a good job. Or in terms of like working, it's like to earn money, so I think it just depends, but whatever the end goal is. Okay, somebody's asked, what is the worst date you've been on? I have a date in my head, I just feel like there's a multitude of reasons why I just absolutely cannot come out and tell it. Aside from that, I've not been on a lot of dates as such, because I've been in long-term relationships, so... Although, story time. So, when I was 17 I think, I was going to meet a boy from Tinder in Glasgow for a date. This isn't like a Tinder horror story or anything, like, he was a really lovely boy and he actually ended up being my boyfriend, so it was like fine, but I was obviously quite nervous just because I'd never met anyone from the internet before, blah blah blah. So I decided to take Lauren and her friend Sarah with me. So we got the train up together. I walked a little bit ahead of them, and he was already at the bar that we were meeting at. Me and Lauren had planned, like, I would go in, I would make sure that he was facing away from the door, she would come in 5 seconds later, you know, and he would be facing me and I would be facing them, sort of thing. Anyway, it goes in. This boy could not have got a table closer to the door. Like, when I tell you that he was literally looking straight at the door. And obviously he'd never met me, so he'd never met Lauren either, but like, obviously I had him on social media and stuff, like, I think, and Lauren's like my best friend, like, I think he would have known her to see her. So I was like, oh my god, so then I had to make a massive fuss saying I didn't want to sit next to the door. Obviously just trying to move in time for Lauren coming in. Eventually moved. They must have thought I was an absolute weirdo. There was nothing wrong with the table. Yeah, she came in and she watched us the entire time just to make sure I was safe. And he didn't know that I had done this until we'd been together for maybe like 4 months. So yeah, funny. I would just like to clarify though that it was like a really like nice day. Like, there was nothing wrong with the day. I just think that's like quite a funny story. So yeah. Someone has asked, do you have any irrational fears? Not really. Well, I'm scared of fire and dogs, but I don't feel like they're particularly irrational. I did used to have, well, I kind of still do have really bad trypophobia, which is like fears of like clusters of holes. So I do kind of freak out when I see crumpets. I suppose that's pretty irrational. Someone's asked, what's your favourite thing about Stirling? I think as a university town / city, I think like when I look at my friends in their university towns, I feel like it's much easier to kind of settle and make a sort of life, if you get me. I think just like, I couldn't imagine myself staying in Glasgow or Edinburgh, like just I feel like it would be so easy to get lost in things. Like, I like that in Stirling, like, people like know everything about each other, like, not necessarily, but people know each other. Like, I have friends that are locals, I have friends from uni, like I have friends from work, like, do you know what I mean? And especially with working in Bridge of Allen is like such like a community, like everyone does know everyone, so I quite like that as well. So someone's asked, are you and Lee moving back in together when you come back to Stirling? The answer is yes, unless Lee has any ulterior motive or plans. But as far as I'm aware, yes, we're moving back in together. We won't be moving back to the same flat for a number of reasons, but we will be remaining with the same letting agents because they have been so good to us. And if anyone is living in Stirling looking to private let or rent or even student accommodation, I cannot recommend Bastion Property Management enough. They are so lovely, and they've been so good to us while we've stayed with them, so definitely check them out. I will link that down below. Someone's asked, what's a positive thing you'll take from lockdown? I have really struggled with it, but I think the only positive thing that I can see is being at home. Obviously, like, I wouldn't have seen my mum and dad and my sister obviously as much as I have, because I'm not one of those people that comes home from uni on the weekends because I have work and things, so it's been good to like spend time with my mum and dad and sister again, so I would say that. Someone's asked, what's something you thought you'd regret and didn't? I'm not really a person to live with regret. Someone else did ask, what is my biggest regret? I don't really like to have regrets because I just think if you hadn't done something, then the next thing would have happened and, you know, you wouldn't be who you are and whatever. When I first started my job, I just felt like I hated it. Like, I think it was a mixture of going from a job in Prestwick where I knew everyone and I'd worked there since it opened, and then just going back to the bottom and kind of having to work my way up again. And I think I just struggled with that and being homesick, and none of my other flatmates had a job, so I felt kind of like, well, why do I have to do this? Now I absolutely love my job and, like, you know, I wouldn't leave it for the world, so I think that's definitely something that I was wrong about at first. Again, biggest regret, it's difficult because there's definitely things I wish I hadn't done, but they have led to good things. I think probably just letting other people's opinions get to me is quite a regret from like growing up. I was very self-conscious and very, you know, didn't want people like judging me or thinking anything, and I think I should have just got over that. Amy just phoned me there, like, while I was halfway through answering a question, and I have no idea what I was actually saying, so it's probably going to be quite annoying when I'm editing this, but... Someone has asked, what is your opinion on the retrogrades? And just think that's quite a funny question, obviously, because I do put them all over every social media I have, so you just have to wonder. So the retrogrades are my friend's band, and I think they're fab. I love going to see them, like their gigs are always so much fun, and I always have such a good night. They're all so talented, but it's just absolutely great, like, because Darren's been my friend for years, like just so great seeing him doing something he really enjoys. So yeah, no, that was cringy. Someone has asked, what is your worst dating fail? And again, there's a lot. I've never been very good at like talking to boys. Like, so I was in a long-term relationship from when I was like 14 till I was 17, or was I 13? I can't remember. So when we split up and I was 17 or 16 or whatever age it was, that's really annoying me. When we split up, I have never really went through a talking stage. Like, obviously when you're 13, it's just like you hang about with someone, you like them, you start going out with them, and then we just ended up together for a long time. I had never really spoke to someone, so then I think when I tried like speaking to people, I was just like, I just don't know what's normal. I don't know how to flirt. So there was one time I was speaking to a boy, and I said to my friend, who I think was maybe in the company of her boyfriend at the time, I can't remember, said to my friend like, oh yeah, he really reminds me of Shrek. And I didn't actually mean it in a bad way, like, and I know that you're probably thinking, well, is there a good way to say that someone looks like Shrek? And yes, probably not, but I didn't mean it badly. Like, I actually really did like him. Anyway, he obviously found out I said this and was quite upset, and I remember telling one of the boys I worked with at the time that this had happened, and he was like, well, why would you say that? And I was just like, I'm just not very good at this. Someone's asked, what do you look for in a partner? The answer is, I don't. I'm just really happy being single at the moment, so long may it continue. I think when I'm with someone, just someone that's funny and not like clingy or needy, because I just like, I'm not one of those people that like is on their phone all the time, and I would just hate like feeling like I had to reply to someone all the time. Someone's asked, what is the most adventurous thing you've ever done? And I honestly don't know. Probably just going to uni. I know that sounds stupid, but you just do so much and learn so much about yourself, and it's just like a massive like adventure in a way, I suppose. Someone has said, why are you such a 10, with the wee like emoji, and all I have to say to that is, someone has said, what is your all-time favourite song and why? My all-time favourite song is Disco 2000 by Pulp. Why? I'm not even sure that I know why. It just always has been. Some other songs that make it up on that list: All About You by McFly, because I've just always been Katie McFly. Big Yellow Taxi by Counting Crows, a classic. Deep Blue Something, Breakfast at Tiffany's, up there on the Kate Matheson song list. Okay, someone said, what inspired you to make YouTube videos? Which I think is a really funny question, because I think a lot of people think that me and Lee do this because we want it to be our career. Realistically, no, I think it's like quite a fun hobby, and I like having the videos to like look back on. I like being able to look back, and it's fun having all these like video diaries of like freshers and different times, and yeah. I suppose I probably always wanted to do it, but I think it's easier to do it with someone. That's why I think I found it so hard filming videos by myself. Someone said, what do you wish someone told you a long time ago? No idea. Sorry. Someone's asked, what is your funniest story from work? And I was trying to think about this the other day when someone asked it. See, when you work with the people I do, like, everything is funny. I said earlier, one, like, the funniest person I know is Sophie, and she works with me, so like literally every shift is a laugh. Because we're all like such good friends as well, it's so much easier to have fun. I really do want to think of a particular time though. Without going into much detail, there was one time Sophie was going about doing an impression of one of the kitchen staff in a nice way, like it wasn't as if it was like malicious or anything, but literally she had everyone in stitches, I'm not even kidding, and that was probably one of the funniest shifts ever. Oh no, just want to say that, okay, my funniest story from work was maybe the day after Sophie's 21st. It was like a kind of quieter part of the night, and me and some of the other people that were there were all like doing impressions of each other, and then one of my managers did one of me, and you know when someone does an impression of you and you don't realise you do it something until someone points it out, and literally everyone was in stitches. It was so funny. So yeah. Asked, who has been your worst neighbour? Yeah, if you know, you know. Yeah. Have you had a near-death experience? When I went on a school trip to Paris in 2015, I accidentally walked out in front of a car. One of my friends had to jump out and save me, so I suppose that. So someone's asked, what's the biggest lesson life has taught you? I would say probably two things. One, that life is short, but two, that life goes on. Because I think like there's certain things that have happened to me and I've just thought, God, this is the end of the world, and it never is. And you know, I think you just have to appreciate what you have and stuff, because you never know when you won't have it. Okay, someone's asked 3 people, dead or alive, you'd want to have a dinner party with. I'm gonna say the first person that came to mind was Nicola Sturgeon. The second person that came to mind was Danny from McFly. And the third person can be Princess Diana. What a fun night that'll be. Someone said shout out your favourite uni friends, and I know that I'm gonna forget people. I do love all of my friends. I'm so sorry if I forget you. My main group is Lee, Logan, Robbie, James and Aaron, then Rachel, Mel and Amy. My flatmates from last year, so Poppy, Jed, Lewis. And then I have friends from my classes and things, Beth, Gregor, Effie, Jessica. I just really know that I've forgotten people and I feel really bad. Love you all. Someone's asked what modules did you take at uni? In first year I took the journalism, politics and sociology modules, and in second year I took politics and sociology, and first semester I had to do a religion module to make up credits, and I've never regretted anything more in my life. It was terrible. Someone's asked what Premier League football team do you support? The answer is I don't follow English football. With English football, I like to see Man United doing well, I suppose, so yeah. Someone said how do you deal with boys? Again, the answer is I don't, but I just think like at this age, if someone's giving you hassle and you're just thinking you're more sad than you're happy, it's so not worth it. Someone said what political party did you vote for? The answer is SNP. The same person also asked where do you stand on the Scottish Independence Front? The answer is that I don't think it's a massive issue at the moment with everything that's going on. I think probably there's certain times where I would say Devo Max would be a better solution, but I think vote tomorrow I would say yes. But the main reason I vote for the SNP is not because of that, it is because I think their policies are the best for Scotland and particularly for what I want from politicians, so yeah. And I think Nicola Sturgeon is a fabulous leader. Someone's asked what is it with gingers, obviously relating to the phase I went through where I just used to fancy gingers so much. I feel like I've probably gotten over it a bit, but I don't know. I've just got asked this one a few times and some of them were really cheeky, but loads of people were asking did I fancy Logan, was I in love with Logan, like was Logan my secret boyfriend, and am I in love with Logan? No, I am not.
What up? I'm Jared, I'm 19 and I never fucking learned how to read.
Logan is one of my best friends, but no. Finally, someone has asked what are 3 things you would tell your younger self? I think what I said about life lessons, I think that I would remind myself that life is short and it does go on. No, I'm going to make that one thing. Life is short and it goes on. 2, it might seem like the end of the world now. It's not. Like, I think when I was younger I spent so much time worried about things that I think about now and I'm like, that's not affected my life at all. But at the time it was just awful. And I would also say if you don't deserve something, don't take it. In the sense that you are better than a lot of things that happen to you, Katie. And maybe I'll add a 4th one and let her know that things will get better and you'll get into uni and everything will be super fun. Thanks so much for watching guys, I hope everyone's well and I'll see you soon. Bye!